Okay, let's look at this question, solving algebraic fractions. So step 1 is try to match the denominators or multiply out. Do what is easiest for you. So that's our first step. I'm going to match the denominators. So I'm going to times that by x minus 2. Just going to write this here, x minus 2. So this must be multiplied by x plus 2 and that x plus 2, and now that denominator is now matched, so we can combine that into a single fraction. So this will become this all over our matched denominator. Remember, it doesn't matter which way round this is, because 5 times 6 is the same as 6 times 5, right? So that equals 1. Now, this is what I mean by multiplying out now. It's easier when the denominators is just written like this. So we're going to multiply both sides by x minus 2, x plus 2. So what we're going to get left with is x minus 2 minus 4x plus 2, which is going to equal this bracket here on this side because it's multiplied by 1, x minus 2 x plus 2. Let's simplify this, expand and simplify. So this is x squared minus 2x minus 4x. Now be careful with the minus sign, that's minus 8. Equals, now this is a difference of two squares, you should be able to recognise that. That's going to equal x squared minus 4. You can expand and simplify that if it's easier, but I'm just going to jump to that answer. Now, if we can look at this, we've got positive x squared on both sides, so we know that can cancel with the minus x squared on both sides. Okay, now let's simplify the minus 2x with the minus 4x. So that makes minus 6x minus 8 equals minus 4. So all we need to do now is plus 8 on both sides to get minus 6x equals 4. I'm going to do this over here. So minus 6x equals 4. Now we want a positive value for x, so we divide out by minus 6, divide out by minus 6. We get x will equal 4 over 6, and it does say leave your answer in a fraction in its simplest form, so that equals minus 2 over 3, and that is correct. Let's look at this question now. Now the easiest thing to do with this question is to match the denominator, which is by finding the LCM of 4, 3 and 6, which is going to be 12. So we're going to times this by 3, times that by 4, and times this by 2. But it does have to be top and bottom. So we're going to get all over 12, all over 12. Now if we multiply it out both sides by 12, then we'll get rid of this denominator. Now we just need to expand this bracket and be careful with the negative signs. So 3x times 3x is 9x minus 6. Now we're minusing 8x, but can you see you've got a minus 4 here times a minus 5, so that's plus 20 equals 2 plus 2x. So let's simplify this side, which is going to be x plus 14 because of minus 6 plus 20 equals 2 plus 2x. So we're going to minus the smallest amount of x to get 14 equals 2 plus x. And you can jump a line of working for ease. I'm just showing you. So x equals 12. Now let's do what we did with the last question. So let's just make the denominators the same. So we're going to expand that by x plus 2, this one by x plus 3, this one by x plus 3, and this is x plus 2. Remember, this actually becomes a bracket here, that becomes a bracket here. So what we're going to get is 5x plus 2 plus 4x plus 3 all over x plus 3, x plus 2. Now don't worry guys, it's quite easy to make a silly expanding mistake on this which messes up the answers at the end, but if you have the method correct, you're going to hit most of the method marks. So at this stage we're going to multiply by x plus 3, x plus 2, both sides. So we're going to get, I'm going to expand out the top, 5x plus 10. Remember to multiply. Now we've multiplied out the bottom, so we're going to get this. Now let's simplify this. 5x plus 4x is 9x plus 22 equals. Now it's up to you how you do this, but I would probably do this first. So this bracket expanded equals this term here. Now I'm going to expand this. Now to save loads of writing, I'm going to minus 9x and minus 22 on both sides because we want to set this to 0 so we can solve. So we're going to get 0 equals 2x squared plus x minus 10. Now let's see if we can factorise this. If not, we can use a quadratic formula. Now 2 times 10 is 20. Because this is factorising with a coefficient. Now what are the factors of 20 to give a plus x? Well, it's got to be 4 and 5, but how are we going to get a plus here? So that's a plus 5, and remember 2 times minus 10 is in fact minus 20. So we have a minus 4 plus 5 gives us the x. That looks correct. So this is the way I do it, but whatever, if you do it the maths watch method, this is fine. So we're going to write 2x, but not write 0 yet. Let's write 2x plus 5 and 2x minus 4, because we're still factorising this correctly. Now we've multiplied out by 2, so we need to divide one of these by 2, and the only one we can divide by 2 is this one. So this becomes a factorised answer. Now we can say equals 0. We can't say that here because this is a part of it working out. Now this is good. Now this has to be 0 and this has to be 0 for this to be solved. So that means x equals 2, and then 2x plus 5 must equal 0. So we minus 5 minus 5. You get 2x equals minus 5, divide by 2, divide by 2, so x equals minus 5 over 2, which equals minus 2.5, and those are those two answers. Now, correct 2 decimal places probably means we're going to need to use the quadratic formula at one point. Now, being able to do this well and successfully is important, which is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So first step is, this is not too bad to pick up some method marks, multiply out both sides by 4x minus 5. So what we're going to get is 3 equals x times 4x minus 5. X, expand that out. That's going to be 4x squared minus 5x. Let's set that to 0 by minusing 3 on both sides. So we're going to get 0 equals 4x squared minus 5x minus 3. We know the answer is to 2 decimal places, so there's no need to factorise. It's just a waste of time. So we know a equals 4 here, b equals minus 5, and c equals minus 3. So we need to substitute that into this formula. So minus b, so on your calculator, minus 5, and you've got this minus here, so the quadratic formula is going to become 5 plus or minus the square root. Now, on your calculator, be careful, ensure you press minus 5 squared in the bracket to get 25. If you type this in your calculator, try it yourself, it will give you the answer of minus 25 because it's just using BIDMAS. But remember, this says b squared, so in fact the number b is multiplied by itself, so we are actually doing minus 5 times minus 5, which we know is 25. So you should get the number 25 in here. Now it's minus 4 times a, which is 4, times c. Now let's be careful, c is minus 3, times minus 3, all over 2a, which is 2 times 4. Now, I'm going to show you this. You're going to, in fact, you don't need to do this many steps. When you have a minus, this bracket's going to become 16. 4 times 4 is 16 times minus 3. That's going to be minus 48. All over 8. So if you type in on your calculator this, 5 plus or minus 25 plus 48, all over 8. Find out both the answers on your calculator, which you should get as 2 answers. X equals 1.69 and x equals minus 0.44. So let's just write that clearly here. X equals 1.69, x equals minus 0.44, and that will be correct and full marks.